So, anybody who knows anything about this channel, you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming the moment this story dropped today. And once again, I want to begin by saying, praise to the content gods. They are kind to me as they always are. Praise to the content gods. Paul knows that one. But real quick here, DJS, popping the popcorn now. Good stuff. Hopefully your popcorn's ready to go. All right, so what I'm going to do, I could have just recorded it as a standalone video, and I thought about doing it. But what I'm going to do at the beginning is I'll quickly cover the details that we have, and then we'll do a little discussion piece. And if there's anything in the chat that anybody wants to chime in or add, I'm going to ask a couple of questions of Yannick and anybody else who ends up joining us, and the chat as well. So we'll open it up to a little bit of discussion. It'll be like a standalone video, but we're going to do it live. And if anybody wants to participate while we're live, great. You're more than welcome to do that. I did include a link in the description already ahead of time to Logan Paul's reveal video, but I also put it in the title. Like it's a fake case. So just off the top, if for some reason you missed it on social media, this is Logan Paul's $3.5 million Pokemon case. It is a fake. It was confirmed as a fake in the video. And I'll get into some of the details of what happened with that. So we'll cover that in just a second. Yep, G.I. Joe cards, hashtag invest, that's right. Yes, who and what did we toss in the volcano for these gifts? I don't want to discuss it, Paul. But the content gods are very kind. That's all I'm saying. Very kind. And I praise them at every opportunity. Ozzy Card Dad, absolutely. Hello. All right. So real quick, I'm going to cover real quick. We'll cover a lot of the ground about what we do know already. We'll make sure we got that covered. So Logan Paul bought a case for $3.5 million. Rattle Pokemon, who, by the way, should be commended for doing a lot of the heavy lifting on a lot of this, did multiple part series, researching a lot of things, found a lot of issues and red flags with the case. Just to be blunt, found a lot of issues and then pointed them out. I know the videos were a little bit long, but really detailed. He did a great job covering a lot of the pieces. The labels look wrong, the tape looked wrong, a lot of different stuff. And a lot of questions came about as a result of it. And that brings into provenance. That's really the question you got to ask, right? And anytime you're buying something like that, unopened stuff has risks. That's why we talked about a lot of the challenges on the last live stream. So real quick, I'll read a couple of these comments. G.I. Joe's motto, now you know, and knowing is half the battle. That's right. The jokes, trust me, were beautiful. The fact it was G.I. Joe, it made it even better. Because the Joe moniker of knowing is half the battle, I was like, oh my goodness, beautiful. Wow. Whoever did it was a troll after my own heart. Yep, absolutely. Joe, that's right, Bobby. I'm guessing this is up as a felony prosecution for someone the FBI will get involved. There's always a chance. I'll be honest, it's not too likely, but we'll talk about that. We'll definitely touch on that, but I'll quickly just finish up my recap here. So he buys it. There's questionable provenance. There's a lot of red flags all over the thing, and the fact that it already went through a chain of custody. It was a questionable eBay sale, which then led to kind of a quick hot potatoing. People were moving the thing very quickly, and it escalated from under $100,000 to $2.7 million. You know, Mealy Pops and a couple of other, and this guy named Card Kahuna, who we'll talk about in a couple of minutes here. But on top of that, it got kind of hot potatoed over, and it ended up on Shane150 on Instagram, who again we'll talk about in a minute. And then he sold it to Logan Paul for $3.5 million. So when we got to the Logan Paul video, Shane was there in the room, and then as well as, I believe it was Steve Hart from Baseball Card Exchange, because I would think of something like this, he's the representative for it. I haven't actually seen Steve Hart before, so I'm assuming it's him, because obviously the person who should be double checking the work should be the guy himself, I would think. But so they were all in a room, and the big dramatic reveal was they decided they were going to open the case, which is the only way you can really validate it. So the moment of truth comes. We have all these questions, all this thing over the weekend, and then into the week, we were like, okay, what's going on? And then finally they dropped the video. And then we'll get on that in 2 seconds here. Let me read a couple of these. Yep, case from Canada, so international possibilities. That's right. Yep. Yep, this was question from the jump. That's 100% right. And the hobby has not got smarter. That is 100% correct. Yes. Yep, Pokeju is the large fellow on the sofa with the beard. Thank you very much, DJS. Appreciate that. Perfect. And Bobby's just confirming that's Steve Hart. Perfect. He touched the box first and said something's wrong. Yep. G.I. Joe carts to the moon. That's right, Neo. That's 100% right. Yep, sounds like fun. Appreciate it. And Georgetown Vintage. Sounds good. Okay, so real quick, I know Bobby is kind of commuting between places. One thing I'll do while I finish the recap is I'll put a link in the chat if anybody wants to kind of chime in and give their 2 cents. I will. The bouncer is in effect. I will keep an eye on that. But if you guys are welcome to pop in and say hello if you want to and throw in your 2 cents when we get to the moment. And like I said, I'll finish the recap real quick here. Okay, so I pinned it. If anybody wants to join in, they can. Okay, so we get to the moment of truth. And I'm actually going to play the clip. I'm going to cue it up right to the moment he opens the case. But I want to specifically focus. I want everybody's attention to be on not only what he says, some of you may have already seen the video, but so it'll be just a recap for you, but listen to what he says and listen to the explanation of what he looks at. Because we covered this a little bit earlier on, because Baseball Card Exchange says for a case, all they're doing is checking the seal for signs of tampering. That's all they're doing. So they gave a little bit of an explanation in that video. So what I'll do is I'll cue it up here. We'll play it for just a moment. And I've sped it up just slightly to 1.25 just so we can quickly zip through. Let me do this, Chrome tab, and audio, perfect. All right, so you guys will have to let me know if you can hear it, and I'll just play it for you for a second here. Here we go. Dramatic music too.
Oh my
Yeah!
god! Oh my god!
Yeah!
Oh my god!
Mother.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, that's a good sign. What?
Why are they so puffy? Why are they so puffy though? See how the shape all?
They don't look right.
They don't look right.
They don't look right? Uh-oh.
See how they're curvy and
They're
puffy.
very light. They don't look right. Okay, let's get it going. Let's open more.
Oh my god!
Oh my god. That look good.
Oh no! Oh no! Why is it bending like that? What's inside of him?
Dude.
Mother. It's f***ing fake, bro. It's f***ing fake.
Let's get to the punchline because that's the best part.
Hold on.
Let's open the box.
Oh yeah, right. Oh.
Look at this bullshit.
Why doesn't this one say first edition on it?
Okay, I wanted to pause for a second. This is where Steve Hart says, why doesn't it say first edition? Because it's not real, Steve. That's the reason he says, why is it not first edition? But thank you for your contribution to this critical piece of work. Thank you for that.
Positivism.
Obviously. All right, I'll finish the clip and then we'll come out.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No,
That's
not
your
like this.
Mother.
Not like this.
Damn.
What's inside this?
Legals.
Oh my god! Oh my
Oh
god,
my God.
bro! G.I. Joe! G.I. Joe!
That's incredible.
G.I. Joe! It could have been anything else!
And thus 1,000 memes were born. G.I. Joe, it could have been anything else. And on that note, now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Mr. Bobby, good evening.
Bobby.
Oh, the chipmunk at this inopportune moment. Bobby. Come on back. It was Bobby's perfect moment. Like it was beautiful. We had it right. We had him queued up. Nope, we got to try again. All right, so real quick here. So RD Cards, good evening. Poker Juice says, why are they puffy right away? 100%. It was all a work. We'll discuss that in a moment. There's definitely some conspiracy theories, but we'll have some fun with that. All right, Poker Juice throwing Steve under the bus was priceless. 100% though. Yep. Hey, that G.I. Joe set was pretty cool. Yeah. Well, I could see some G.I. Joe futures going up, so we can have some fun with that. You guys think he knew, though? Yeah, so we'll touch on that in a second. So let me just finish the recap here, and then we'll get into conspiracy theories, the whole 9 yards. We'll have some fun. Like I said, we'll have some fun with this one. All right, Bobby, you back?
I'm back.
Yes. So Steve Hart says, why aren't they first edition inside the case? Bobby, why? Why? I don't understand. He checked the seal. The seal.
The seal. Yeah. Look at, I can peel it back. You know the funniest part about all of that?
Good.
Is okay, you want to look at the top. If I was resealing it, I would open the bottom and go in that way. Then you keep everything factory sealed and then change that sticker, whatever they did. Obviously, that's what they did. So at that point, I'm doing the bottom first. I'm going in through the bottom. I did that. It reminds me of a little thing. I bought some Girl Guide cookies when I think I was 19 years old, 18. And I said to my mom, I said, no, I'll just keep them in my drawer in my room. I won't eat them all. Don't worry. Because I was, I love sweets. And she was fine with it. But what I did is I cut a hole in the bottom, and she thought the two boxes remained sealed, but they didn't get sealed because I was going in through the bottom of the box. My sister remembers that story very well. Yeah. And so what's in the box? Go from the bottom. You'll find it.
That's right.
And I also did email you on or text you on something. Is when they showed the preview, they showed the box popping open. It was actually kind of came out fast, and that is the first sign. Because if it's been sealed for 20 years, the time and pressure would have made him have to peel it up. It wouldn't have popped up like that. And that was the first. Didn't I say? Oh, that's resealed at that point.
You did. Totally.
Yeah. So it goes back to the reason why I put a lot of my focus and attention, and now we'll open it up to some discussion points and a couple different things. The reason I put so much, let me relay quickly for those of you who had not heard me say it the first time, and I'll repeat it. I don't really care about Logan Paul. I don't really care about Pokemon. To me, the bigger story is the whole authentication of sealed product. It is the fact that Baseball Card Exchange is trusted as the de facto expert in the field, but there's so many nuances and so many tricky things. The bigger issue is you shouldn't have touched it with a 50-foot pole.
True enough.
Like, if you genuinely don't know, if you're not sure, you're putting your name on it. And then immediately, I didn't want to play like a big long piece of that clip. But then, Shane 150, the guy who sold it to Logan Paul, at least he was in the room, they were both standing there. And he goes, I bought it because I saw it on the seal. Despite all the questions, I bought it because you agreed to authenticate it. So it's like, because you agreed to authenticate it, I trusted that authentication. He's saying, I trusted that you knew what you were doing. He's saying, I trusted that you knew what you were doing. And then he's standing there going like, why aren't there like first edition in the bottom ones? It's like, because it's not real, Steve.
Look at the tape. It don't peel up. Look at, I'm flicking it. It won't peel up. And Mealy's head must have popped.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a second here. So I venture to say the packs of Joe are sold on golden. Yeah, it might be it would be infamous. I did note the side of the box was facing the camera the whole time without the 7-digit number barcode. It's a plain brown. Would have liked to have seen the other side. That's fair. I get you. Mm-hmm. Sure, it's good to be true. It probably is. Absolutely. Like, we can always go back to the old cliches and stuff. So real quick, I will give a couple of more little updates because obviously things are constantly moving. At first, Card Porn talked about it as well. And at first, Shane 150, who sold it to Logan Paul, refunded him his money, refunded him quickly. So Logan Paul's been made whole. So he gets the content and he gets his money back. So for him, no harm really. In reality, it's just an infamous moment for him on his YouTube channel. He'll get some hits, win-win. The second portion of it, but now it's Shane 150's job to go get his money back. Now, real quick, at first, Mealy Pops lawyered up. And Shane 150 was trying to get a hold of him. He did update, and I'll actually show you guys the clip. Again, things can still change as we go forward. And there is a Baseball Card Exchange statement, which I'll read to you. That's why I say I want to get through the rest of the pieces here, and we'll cut through it. Okay, so here's Shane 150. He says, I'm encouraged that my legal team... By the way, you should never have to go through legal teams to get your money back on something. That should concern you as well, just to be clear. We'll get to that again in a moment. But my legal team, the shop Mealy Pops, has agreed through counsel to escrow the proceeds he received from the sale while we work to recover the rest of the funds from Card Kahuna. So Card Kahuna is the bulk of the money. Mealy Pops, I think, was about $500,000, which is not an insignificant sum. It's a lot of money. So presumably he'll get his money back from Mealy Pops. That's great. You shouldn't have had to lawyer up to basically agree to send him back his money when it's found to be off. G.I. Joe packs inside the case. There's an issue there. So that Card Kahuna is kind of the one that we're still keeping an eye out on to see what happens with that. There may be additional updates, so be it. Mm-hmm. Now, Baseball Card Exchange did have a statement, which is 100% true, and I will read that to you. So that is another consequence of this whole deal. So let me give that to you. Okay, so here we go. So it is on their official Instagram account, so I'll read it to you right now. Of course, in the notes for my phone, as you do, all classy statements must be done in notes. All right, in March 2021, we were asked to provide our good faith opinion and verify the Pokemon case had been previously opened or tampered with. Not been. We evaluated it, and in our opinion, the case was in its original state. This past Saturday, we opened the case to verify our opinion, and we're extremely disappointed to learn it was inauthentic. Clearly. We have authenticated tens of thousands of sealed products over nearly 20 years and meticulously developed a structure and framework to provide our expert opinion. We are reevaluating our approach to all sealed cases going forward. We have also decided to halt the review of Pokemon and or Yu-Gi-Oh cases or boxes until we assess and revise our processes to avoid this happening in the future.
Now the big question. Mm-hmm. Would you like me to ask it?
Go ahead.
Is this the first time this has happened?
And you told you if you have a wrap box right now of BBC, I would be like really starting to look if my shit is legit or not.
Yeah. Now, if you remember, the reason that I led with the reason why I want to focus in on this because the BBCE angle is really important. Really important. Like I said, at the end of the day, Logan Paul got his money back. He got content, whatever. I'm sure that Shane 150 has got enough money that he can sue those other guys into oblivion, and I'm sure he'll be able to collect his money out of it. But the thing is that the overarching issue is that we put a $3.5 million transaction in the hands of a third party who admittedly does not have the qualifications to do it and agreed to actually authenticate it. If there's anything but 100% assuredness, why would you put your name on it? Even if you know what you're doing, if you're even suspicious, you wouldn't put your name on it because it's too difficult. It's too hard. There's too many things that can go wrong. And there's too many little things, especially if you're not familiar, especially if you don't know the stuff.
Have you ever been questioned is the question, I guess, right?
Oh,
And if
here's
you
the thing.
haven't, then you sail, right?
But this goes to my overarching point. So let's talk about baseball card exchange for a second, and I'll come back to some of the other players.
Yeah.
The truth is this. They have been questioned before. But the truth is it never sticks. That's why I say, like, the cynical point that I make to folks is that in the hobby is that it doesn't actually matter. I'm going to have my fun with it. The content gods have blessed us. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have fun with it. But here's the truth. I could blast this out and we could get millions of views on this. And guess what? The same people who are in these comments section here are going to be like, oh, but I've been buying from Steve Harden Baseball Card Exchange for 20 years and my stuff's all good. And here's the truth. That could be correct. But it doesn't mean there isn't other stuff that is off or wrong or whatever, because it is not an exact science. It is not. It's impossible for anybody to really say, that's why we talked about it the other day. You can't actually definitively authenticate something is real. The only thing you can say is, I couldn't find evidence of tampering. That's as far as it goes. I can't find anything to suggest it's been tampered. That's not a ringing endorsement. That's not like a definitive. That's like, I looked, I couldn't find anything wrong with the seal. The tape seems okay as far as I can tell. That's the best you can do.
Vinny BDVC, right?
Yeah, but that's the best you can do. And I'm not giving him superpowers and saying he can go beyond that. And I've said, and I've talked about it with Bobby before. Bobby's written a book on it, but I kind of asked, it's like, would you be willing to authenticate and stick your name on something? No. Yeah, it's too
like
it's too
cellos.
dangerous.
I don't know cellos. Wax packs, I know like the back of my hand. Yeah. And am I 100% on them? No.
That's the point. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Are we 100% on autographs? No.
Yeah.
So we take the best opinion that is in front of us, and we have to go forward with that, and we have to have some form of trust. Mm-hmm. You know, 50%, 70%, 90%, 100%, 80%. I don't know.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's better than air, but the problem is not by much. Like it's a very, it's if some rando on the street offered you a sealed box, probably you're not going to go there. Yeah. But it's not by a huge factor much better to have it in that seal wrap. It doesn't change. I would not pay a premium on anything sealed. A lot of the stuff that I said it before and I'll repeat it. I bought stuff from Baseball Card Exchange, and the stuff I bought from Baseball Card Exchange was fine. However, I was buying junk wax rack packs and things like that, where if you know the order, if the next card is this, you know it's fine. Yes. There are ways to tell very quickly and very easily if it's okay. And the likelihood that somebody is going to mess around with a $2 rack pack is not super high. $3.5 million. There's a lot of reasons to mess with it.
I just never realized there was only basically, like you said, the integrity of the box or the shape of the box,
and they put that in writing on the website. That is why I went and I put it for everybody in front of everybody's face. It is right here on their website on a case. All they are doing is checking the seal, and in that video, he reiterated he's looking at the tape. He's looking at if it seems like it wasn't compromised, and that's all that's happened. He doesn't know what's inside the box either.
I'm a tape expert.
Let's say like a guy like me who didn't know any better. You assume by always seeing the seal, right? Like it's sealed, it's legit. I guess it's the integrity of the box. I'm aware that he cannot really x-ray what's in the box, but it's like, it's that seal of approval. So everyone blindly basically just, I guess that's the real deal, right? And I guess we're all a little bit of we're all like basically guilty a little bit. It kind of just like it flies that way. So
yeah, no, I think it's fair. I think your point is fair, Yannick. So here's the unfortunate truth: there are some of us who have been in the hobby a while who kind of know what the score is. Bobby knows it, but he's in a position where it's like there's no point in saying too much because it's like then it becomes your word against it. It's like it's not a game you want to enter into, and it's not fair, and it's not a good game to play. But a lot of experienced hobbyists, like, we take it with a grain of salt. That's why I say everything I've ever bought from Baseball Card Exchange is stuff that I shouldn't have to worry about. Or it's stuff that I am familiar with, stuff that I opened, maybe stuff that I opened originally when it came out, so I can at least use some memory to be like, okay, if something looks off to me, I wouldn't hesitate to challenge Steve Hart on it. I'd throw it right to the end of the table and go, this is wrong. I opened this stuff when it came out. That's off. There's something wrong with that. But not everybody would be comfortable doing that. A lot of people just take it sight unseen. They say it's been wrapped. It's good. That's dangerous, and they pay big premiums. That's even more dangerous.
Yeah, to buy it outright original. I wonder what did they mention what the original price was? They were talking.
So
$90,000.
the very first one was about 90,000 ish. That was the first sale with the billion red flags and multiple stories in the whole 9 yards. And then then it goes to Mealy Pops and Card Kahuna. They get this thing because of course it's great. And then they sell it to the Shane 150, who hears the conflicting stories. Oh, but it's wrapped by BBCE, so it's good. Here you go, Logan. 3.5 million.
Experience.
Good, bro. It's like, dude, come on now. You're killing me. Let me read a couple of these questions, though. I think there's some good comments here. So Sebastian here says, could people go to jail over this? I really doubt it, unfortunately. Curious about the legal liabilities involved. So BBCE has a complete out. They said in writing that if information is found later, they're not liable. They've acknowledged the possibility of information being found later, and they told you exactly what they were doing. It's all in writing. So they have zero liability and zero guarantee. Just be aware of that. Good evening, Shane. Curious if PSA will be having a quiet chat, and please explain with BBCE. If I was going to bet, no. They're the only pack authenticator in the game, and PSA uses them, and they're the only ones. G.I. Joe, the real American hero. True story. Authenticating sealed cardboard boxes always seem to have a bit of an iffy proposition. It is, yep. Especially if one doesn't have very strong expertise on. BBCE getting shown up by internet hobbyists is hilarious. Yep. But that's because they were willing. So where Rattle Pokemon did a good job is that he went beyond and did more research. He kept going and he goes, okay, look, I'll take what information I can from as many useful sources as I can and put the pieces together. And he did solicit some help to try to figure out the barcode thing is a dead giveaway. Like something's wrong there. Like even beyond everything else, the barcode should match the code on top. This is just for scanning purposes. It's very basic. I should be able to scan that, and it should give me a very basic piece of information that should match what everything else says, at the bare minimum.
It was perfectly done, the barcode, because that sticker, because what they did is they wore it in to the box and made it have those lines, and it doesn't take much to do that.
That's right. Yep, and they figured it was perfect scan because they figured the case was so expensive, no rational people would dare open. Absolutely. There were a lot of people counting on that. They're hoping that it never got open. Yeah. Best box opening since the end of movie 7. That is correct.
The funny part about all of this is, who would be willing to do 90 grand to like, you always, when you buy stuff vintage or whatever unopened, you have to be willing to lose that money. Always.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're taking risks. That's why I say I would hesitate to spend a premium on anything like that because you are taking a lot of risk. You just are. And I understand that some people like the idea that, oh, well, boxes become, tougher to come by as time goes on. Well, unless somebody gets really good at resealing them and gives you G.I. Joe packs. Come on. The memes, guys, the memes.
I really have to know who gets the G.I. Joe packs.
I think it's important. That chain of custody is important to me.
And
There's
what was the thing
provenance in
about
those packs.
anything but GI, or why does it have to be GI Joe? That was so funny. There must be.
I feel
it was like a bad deal. Like, oh man, that could have been anything.
I would
else,
like to
but
get to
G.I.
the bottom.
Joe,
I would like to get to the bottom of why Logan Paul is so vehemently opposed to G.I. Joe. There's something to that.
I have a legit question.
That
Who
Logan
keeps
Paul is
the
part of
G.I.
Cobra?
Joes? Who keeps the GI Joes?
No, that was Bobby's question. It's the chain of custody. Listen, I think what we learned here is that Logan Paul is actually secretly a Cobra sympathizer.
He might be.
Interesting.
There's
Very
something
interesting.
there. There's something.
Yeah,
he
there's
had a
something
bad with a figure when he was a kid, a bad experience. And,
I don't know.
The Kung Fu grip got him one day, and I don't know. So.
Yep. So here we go. So Michael Ham here says, I suggest moving forward that they have to open a sealed box and reseal it with a special tape indicating it's original. I also expect new video proof and numbering. You would hope that there would be a higher standard. I wouldn't hold my breath. We'll see down the road. I wouldn't be shocked if BBCE does another Pokemon box or case down the road. Right now the heat is on, and they've basically said, "Oh, we're going to review our process." Their process was to check tape. That was the great and deep process. That is what the expertise brought. Tape expertise, which turned out to not be enough. Alas, the expertise in tape was not enough to save us this day.
Baseball card exchange,
Yeah.
Baseball card.
But they've done. I think they've done. They've got boxes in non-sport.
No,
yeah.
I get it, but now if you're gonna go all the way to Pokemon,
well, I'm pretty sure they've done Magic the Gathering and stuff before. Like I could be mistaken, but I feel like they've wrapped some collectible card game stuff before.
Oh, it's in their milieu to do it.
Yeah. Like
No
a box
problem
is a
there.
box. As far as BBCE is concerned, a box is a box is a box.
Yeah.
The genre is less important.
If it was their first Pokemon box, I guess it's their last.
Yeah,
It may as well be. Well, I don't know. He must have done more before.
I have no
Well,
idea.
most of them
I feel like
cello
I feel like
sealed,
they've
right?
done booster boxes. I think this is the first case.
Yeah.
I think this is the first case because there aren't a lot of them have been around. So BBC is saying he has zero liability and being true in court are two different things. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I would be very surprised. Again, maybe it's the cynical side of me being in the hobby as long as I have been. A lot of these things happen. They're brought to light. People hear about them. And then time passes. They forget. And we move on with our lives. Oh, did you get your pack authenticated to PSA? Yeah. Who did it? Same guys that did the Pokemon case. Doesn't matter.
Is it called Pokejo now, or do we call it GI Mon? Or
I like GI Mon. I kind of dig it. It's got a little flavor from the island too. I like GI Mon. I like
yes,
it.
Mon.
There's some possibility there. I enjoy that. The suspect of the original owner is alleged by Rattle. I can say this guy from Okanagan and working on a tracing crew in Alberta. I've met enough of those types to confirm. I think there's a second half to that comment, but I got cut off. Okay, BBC probably isn't overly fussed being shown up, so to speak. Yeah, I don't think so. They do, like I said, they can point to their they can point 100% to being like, look, in writing, we said we're rendering an opinion on the tape. We think the tape is good. This is superb tape. Did you see the tape job on this? This is great. I want Steve Hart to authenticate my Christmas presents. If I do a great job taping it, do I get like bonus points? Will he do it?
I have to see the bottom tape because it didn't have the stop on the bottom.
Yeah,
I think it was just regular cello.
I think so. I think that's right. Yeah, the reveal was epic with the G.I. Joe and Logan's response. Like I said, I suspect there's some Cobra sympathies going on there with Logan. He was a little too angry about the G.I. Joe thing. Yep, absolutely, Brad. Just never forget the E if you're trying to get to their website. Yes. Yeah, that's true. If you want me to take a dump in a box of our guaranteed I will. I've got spare time. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's the first case and only one known to be in existence. That's right. Because the only other case is the open one from that the King Pokemon guy has. But so going back
One
to like
side is open and the other side.
Yeah.
So they call it
yeah.
just open the other side. We're crying out loud.
Yeah. But here's the thing. At the very least, that one has at least been looked at enough where the boxes seem to be sealed up properly. You could have used that as a reference with the exterior and been like, at least, again, you're in the business not of authenticating, really. You're in the business of looking for inconsistencies. If you see something that enough people have looked at that feel comfortable, again, it was Rattle Pokemon on the internets looking at images, seeing that this looks wrong, this looks. When you start adding up things and there's enough red flags, you're like, something seems wrong here.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of stuff that Rattle Pokemon put out there that he's getting offers, $500,000 to take his stuff down. I'm going, wow, that's big. That was that Mealy and the boys, or do you remember hearing that?
Nope. Well, I think the person who supposedly the problem is that anybody on Instagram can create an account saying that they've got the real name. So, but regardless, somebody sent him a message one way or the other around that time asking. So, it's still suspicious, but you can't definitively say, oh yeah, it's the same guy for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, does it make the comps to G.I. Joe 3.5 million? We can only hope. These are facts.
The box could have been full of Pro Set.
Ooh. All of a sudden, Brian.
Which is worth more.
It's like Brian Gray's ears perked up. It's like, Pro Set? What happens is now you open up your next box of Pro Set and inside all you get is Pokemon. Son of a jerk! I knew it.
Well, actually, I'm surprised, and I think somebody else asked this question: why Logan Paul didn't contact his closest friends beforehand? And I think that was even mentioned prior to all of this stuff happening. And I'm going, yeah, if in doubt, and you're not a collector, you don't know the sealed, Pokemon, yeah, sure. Why wouldn't you go ask somebody who does have a sealed case or a sealed box or a little bit more experience? So we always prefer.
So that point was brought up on a live stream that Logan Paul joined in on, and it was the guy. I keep forgetting the guy's name, but he goes by the moniker King Pokemon. Yeah, he goes by the moniker. Yeah. The point is, he's the guy who has that case that's like the half open but still like case, and he flat out asked Logan Paul, "Why didn't you just ask me? Why didn't you just come to me like I have that?" And Logan didn't know he had that. He knew he had boxes, but he didn't realize that he had that case. It's like you could look at your case and look at this case and be like, "Wait a minute."
He probably just wanted to go, hey, look what I got. And this is what happens at the expo all the time.
Yeah.
I got friends who come around and go, hey, Bobby, look what I bought. Oh, wow. What'd you pay? Oh, $300. I went, Ah, good. You can come to me first, and ask before
will
you go
save you
there
money.
and spend $300 on a $100 item next time. But hey,
Well, that's the thing. If you got
You can work it out.
resources, it doesn't hurt to ask. It's like
Yeah.
just you may as well, and utilize the resources you have at your disposal. Just do that.
The Rattle Pokemon guy had it. It was actually, I think, on the second episode. There was a text between him and
yeah,
like
Mealy
it
Pops.
was raising. It was basically the question. The doubt was raised on like the legitimacy or the provenance of that box. And oh no, don't worry about it. We did our, we checked it, man, or something like that. So
Yeah. Well, I think the bottom line. So let's do a couple quick takeaways, and then I want to get to the blame game because then we can have some fun. We'll let the chat have some fun too. Okay. So real quick, couple of quick takeaways. Number one, authenticating unopened material is not an exact science. Nobody can definitively tell you it's good. All they can do is find red flags and tell you what they feel like is wrong with it. That's the best they can do. That's the best you can hope for. If you see enough red flags, get the heck away from it and do not pay a premium for that. Number one. Number two, if you do know some folks in the space who have any expertise at all, get a second opinion, get a third opinion, especially if you're going to pay real money. Get a second opinion, get a third opinion. Number three, do not take a BBCE exchange, sealing as the definitive final word on this. Their opinion, they're giving an opinion like anybody else. Have they handled a lot of boxes in some categories? Yes. Does that mean for sure everything is good? No. Does it mean everything's bad? No. I promise you there's good material they've handled and there's bad material they've handled. I can guarantee both. But we don't know what the ratio is. Even if it's 95 to 5%, that's still enough boxes over the course of years that means there'll still be a lot of, sealed boxes that are no good. So that's what I mean. Like, you can still have a pretty good percentage, pretty good track record, but it isn't perfect. So shouldn't be the final word on everything. And nobody can give you the final word on it. And the only way you'll know is to open it. That's the only way you'll know.
that's true.
Yeah. So it's just these are important. These are the main takeaways. If nothing else, just take those points away and just understand that.
The one good thing about this is with all the live breaks and what's been going on. Everyone's
Yeah.
breaking vintage packs and what have you. I don't think there's really been a big instance where the pack was bad. So on Steve Hart's side, you've got to give him a little credit there because quite a bit of wax has been opened over the last few years. So going forward after that, good track record, Pokemon, but the rest of it not so bad. And Steve knows his stuff. He got to know stuff over the years, and that experience really helps. And you really do need to know your wax and your autographs. Those are the two things. So
For sure. So your next Pokemon Logan Paul video will be on the couch with the counselor going over his history with G.I. Joe. I look forward to that video. I want to see that video. I want explanations. That's the important takeaway I have. So Georgetown here says, what's the biggest amount you ever got scammed for? For me, it was a couple $100, but it tends to be on the seller side. Any issues I've ever had are where something mysteriously disappeared in the mail, even with tracking. And unfortunately, eBay's policy is such that you're out the card and the money. So let's put it this way. Officially, I've never been scammed, but I've definitely had interesting situations happen where stuff has disappeared on me that I can't prove definitively got to its destination. And the other person, may or may not have ever gotten it. We'll never know. It's unfortunate, but it's the way the game is. Is there any story or anything you want to throw in there? Biggest amount you ever got scammed for? Had any issues or any of that?
in all the years I've been doing this, lost in the mail is probably my best story.
Yeah.
Scammed? No, it's hard to scam. Yeah.
If I deal with it in person, I have a lot of comfort that I can figure stuff out and find my own red flags and stuff. It's stuff that I don't have control over. That's why I said the mail thing is like, I can't control it. Once it leaves my hands, I can only hope it gets to its destination and that everything goes the way it's supposed to, and you just never know. You try to do your due diligence.
Did not get scammed, but I got called a scammer when I never received a package through the mail. And
I told you that we're okay with that.
later,
He's forgiven. Bobby's forgiven you.
Yeah. Weeks later, the package did show up, and even after the guy called me a scammer, I paid him.
Yeah.
I paid him back, so
Yeah.
I did not really enjoy that.
Oh, for sure.
Scammer pay, yeah.
Well, the thing is that a
Yeah.
lot of people are very impatient with the mail sometimes, especially sometimes cross border stuff gets stalled. Like you do it. That's why almost anything cross border now, I have to put tracking on it because they're like, here's the tracking number. You get the same information I have. Here you go.
I do that. Usually it's $75 and over. Otherwise, under that, I can afford to lose, and it wouldn't bother me so much.
Yeah, that's
Past that, that's kind of like, Yellow. Anyways.
Yep. So Logan Paul responded.
Quick question. I got a quick question for
ahead.
everybody here, actually. Who thought that was a real sealed box? Like going into this, who knew? Who really had the thought that?
I think it's a good
it was-
question. I think it's a fair
I
question.
did it.
Yeah, I was
you didn't
very.
what? You didn't think it was. You didn't think it was good. You didn't think it was bad.
Before they opened
Before.
the video, I already had the doubt with all the proofs or clues that we had.
Yeah, the Red Pokemon video to me was very compelling. I thought the information presented was just the red flags at the beginning of the transaction
Yeah.
were enough to be like, okay, that would give me automatic pause. Like we don't need to go any further. Like
Video one, exactly.
yeah, it's like
almost, you know?
we do not need to continue this process. I feel like we've already got enough information that's like we're done here. Let's back away slowly.
He beat a dead horse with that information.
Yeah. But it's like, unfortunately, a lot of folks they want to believe. They want to believe that it's like, hey, you outsmarted everybody. Okay.
Isn't it funny how the video he goes, oh, when they opened it, it's like, oh, it looks real.
Yeah.
Like right at that start, it was almost like that was a director done, well done.
Well, they reminded
Yeah,
me. That
'cause then
reminded
you
me of
went,
one thing. So that reminded
ahead.
me of two quick things there. Number one, I mentioned that even in my second video on this, I mentioned that even if there was Pokemon boxes inside of it, you'd have to scrutinize it more carefully than that, which obviously they ended up doing, and they opened the box and found the G.I. Joe packs. So we're done. The conversation's over. However, the second thing is they did do one thing. Once they did open it, and they saw something that looked off immediately, they did the one thing. They took a box which they had at least looked at previously and felt like was good, and they did a side-by-side comparison. The color looks off. This looks off. That's the only thing that a lot of them have to do is you have to take something you presumably is good and then compare it to the other one and go, the color on this is wrong. This looks off. It looks like there's extra creases and stuff. For what's supposed to be a sealed box inside a sealed case, there's things that look wrong. Having that side-by-side comparison, you can't just eyeball the thing in a vacuum and hope that you can figure it out.
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah. So real quick here, Logan Paul responded, "We just hypothesized BBCE was all he needed." Yep, and he repeated that in the live stream as well. In this day and age, you can find out info on basically anything. So if you're dropping $3.5 million, do your due diligence, 100%. So he was thinking the authentication covered the constant side, not just the tape. Yeah, and that's why I read that piece from Baseball Card Exchange's website. Again, they didn't do diligence on even the authenticator. What is covered? What are you actually looking at? They tell you. And then he told them again in the room. But on their website, they explicitly tell you what it is they're looking at as far as the case is concerned. They tell you, we're looking at the seal. We're looking for evidence of tampering. That's all we're doing.
Can we tie into their Apple watches for their health thing and see what their heart rate?
See what the heart rate was.
Wow.
Yeah, well, Steve authenticated his G.I. Joe pack. We can only hope so.
To the moon.
Most expensive G.I. Joe packs ever. I like it.
They are sealed packs.
Yeah. I was a little surprised that the Pokemon boxes at least contained Pokemon packs that weren't first edition. G.I. Joe was a big shock to me. Yeah. Okay, for the record, maybe this is my trolley ways. So there's two quick things that I need to make note of. Two quick things. Number one, before the video played, as soon as I give credit to Andy. Andy was the first one to shoot me the video for the Logan Paul, the link to the Logan Paul one, and then I sent it to Bobby because I figured he'd enjoy it. So, but Andy sent it to me first, and I was going to do it at the beginning of the video here, but it was really important to me that I made sure we get to the nitty gritty. But I'm not saying this is what happened, but this is like a dramatic reenactment of Carlos after watching the video. Basically, it looked like that. That's basically what was happening. I needed some time to recompose myself, and then I said Bobby the link. But after I composed myself, I did need a moment. And we had to include the $1 Million Man clip, but of course we do.
And I'm out in Pickering. I'm doing a big deal, buying some stuff, and I get the link. I go, damn, I want to go see it, but I'm closing. It took an hour to close it.
Okay.
And finally, I closed it. Then I drove to a parking lot and I went and looked at it.
Yep, that's fair.
And I was sitting there going, "There's no way it's good."
No.
After I saw that pop thing, I said, "No, it's not
Yeah.
good." And then they got me for a half a second when, like you said, and then Logan Paul went, "Oh, right." Then I thought, "Oh, okay." And then it went, Joe.
To me, Steve Hart was the star, though. He just had like that perplexed look on his face the whole time. It was like, you really can't just like everybody else is already clued in this.
There
wrong.
goes the motorcycle.
Damn it!
If there is a motorcycle,
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so real quick here. So Klosko, good evening. Can't believe the authentication process was just looking at the tape, literally just looking at the tape. Yep, that's right. Does whoever has to refund him get to deduct the G.I. Joe comments? Oh, sorry. So this was what I'm mentioning about the trolling thing. Maybe it's just me piling on, but wouldn't it be great if the G.I. Joe packs were also no good? Like, you put them inside, and this is the content, but the G.I. Joe packs are like, I don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something. Like, it's like, really?
Or
You
beat up
couldn't even
Pokemon.
give me real G.I. Joe packs inside your fake case? Jerk. That'd be amazing. May get to the stage of authentication that you won't have sealed case anymore, as the product needs to be checked more thoroughly. Unfortunately, the sealed case thing, I would be super hesitant to touch it because there's too many things that go. The money's too big now. There's too much incentive to have a sealed case. It's way too much. Josh here pointing it out. Josh, I'll be honest with you. I'm totally with you, and I get what you're saying. I kind of wanted to do it as the national anthem at the beginning of the video. I actually wanted to do it as the first thing you guys saw.
That might
I
have been good.
legitimately thought about it as just starting with the $1 Million Man before I said one word and just playing it. I also thought about creating a 2-minute supercut of the $1 Million Man cackling and starting with that before I even began. But you know, we had to make the show today. I wanted to do this today. We'll talk about it some more and touch on some things tomorrow. But I did. It was too good. I couldn't let it go. I had to have the moment
The
today.
$3.5 million man.
That's right. Imagine how many times BBC has done fake cases just by looking at the tape. Yeah, like I said, they explicitly tell you that's what they do for sealed cases, and that's across the board. That's not just Pokemon. That's regular sealed cases. Good luck.
There's not a lot of sealed cases that he does.
Yeah,
It's mostly
right.
per box.
Yeah, for sure. Do we know if G.I. Joe was at all 6 boxes? Maybe each box was different. I like that angle. That's a beautiful angle. I'd like them to open the rest of the boxes now so we can find out. Maybe some of them are Batman.
G.I. Joe, Batman.
But which Batman though? I like the. I actually didn't mind. They had the '89. The '89 Batman had some cards, and they're actually all right.
Not bad.
Okay, so a question is,
Go ahead.
what would have been the card that would have throw you overboard if you would have been Logan Paul? You're like, no, you know, like 91 Pro set or.
Oh, I think that's obvious. 2011 Topps update Mike Trout, or 2000 Tom Brady anything. I'm like, burn it to the ground.
Probably,
Too easy, Yannick. Too easy.
Welcome back, Carter.
Oh, okay. I like that. Okay, that's fair. If they were real, they were just going to seal the case. So let's say
No, the Gong Show.
Oh,
Goes
that's a
back.
good one. That's a good one. I like that. I think here's the thing. If it had been fine, at that point, at least if you looked at the boxes and you didn't have the pop up and everything and the color and everything seemed okay, you would basically be in the King Pokemon situation. You'd be like, okay, just leave it alone then. Great. But we needed to open it to see. We needed to make sure because right now, as it stood, like too many questions for that. Again, you'd still wonder why the case and everything around it still doesn't go. Like I said, the label to me was the most damning piece of evidence. You got the barcode wrong. That means at the bare minimum something weird happened here. Like there's too many weird things with that.
But I will give credit where credit is due. The way they did the label, the way they put wear on it, the way they left. See, I think they left that top part on. I think they went from the underside. I really do believe that because that's what I would do. Because as good as you get at something, you know how to get it the other way around. Do you not? The more you know, the more you're able to do or understand. If you were to do it, this is what you would do.
Well, wouldn't it be funny though if you flip over the case and it turns out on the bottom it's just like duct tape, just like some cheap duct tape, like the laziest tape job ever.
Price tag on it.
It's like, why is there Scotch tape down here? What the hell is this?
Do they have Scotch tape in '89? I don't know.
It's like, what the heck?
99.
So Bob Jackson here says, seeing those boxes in the case made me think of the counterfeit cards kids tried to pass off as legit in elementary school. Talk about nostalgia. There you go. Victor here says, G.I. Joe packs are filled with a bunch of 91 Fleer baseball. Love it. Yep, the way the guy checked the case was funny as hell to me. Oh, the sticker has cardboard lines too? Yes. That's our expert though. That is our, hobby goat. Hashtag hobby goat.
The best part was when he was picking the stop tape off. It was just like this thing. Hey, heat gun, boom, done. Mm-hmm. Stuck on for good. 20 years worth.
So Josh was talking about the 2-minute $1 Million Man thing. I'm thinking about it. I think the moment has passed. I think you had to do it today. I think today was the day to do it.
Yeah.
Still we included. We made sure the $1 Million Man was represented. We made sure he got his moment. Yep, half expected 91 Fleer boxes. Maybe with some 94 Power Rangers. There you go. Nice. Hasn't Golden sold a few 86 Fleer wrap cases. I don't know if it's wrap case. I feel like there was a 86 Fleer case. maybe a year or two ago.
It wasn't wrapped. It wasn't sealed. It was
Yeah, it was just a case that was open,
just
right?
a case that found. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yep, Aussie Card Dad got the Mike Trout from Yannick's question. Perfect. Charlie's Angels packs. Okay, there you go. That's another one. I don't know. The Charlie's Angels packs might at least be a better outcome than the G.I. Joe packs. So it's like at least
Then he could. Logan Paul could have went. Oh, Charlie.
it's like at least something. At least something. Feel a little better about it. Cardboard tape would have fallen off in 20 years. We got boxes that sat a few years that peels off without doing anything to it at all. Oh, the paper tape ones. Yeah.
Oh, those
yeah,
ones,
paper
yeah,
tape
yeah.
wood. Yeah, paper tape wood. That's true.
Not many paper tape around at that time period. A little earlier for sure.
There you go. Disappointed there weren't cricket cards.
Cricket
Yeah.
cards.
Don Bradman
Very.
Curator would have been like, yes, my moment has arrived. G.I. Joe Snake Eyes rookies. Like I said, the G.I. Joe thing. By the way, whoever put in the G.I. Joe cards in, whoever did it, moi, chef's kiss, moi, because the memes, the jokes, the
What's
endless
coming
jokes,
down is great.
like it writes itself. We don't even need Lameme James. Everybody else is like, don't worry, well, Lameme, we got this. We can figure it. If we watch this cartoon in the 80s and the early 90s, we know what to do. We'll be fine. Don't worry. Take the day off. It was too good. It was too good. Okay, blame time. Horrible speculation. Blame time. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
All right. So, my opinion, I'll render it quickly off the top. BBC will take a temporary hit. He'll walk away from Pokemon cards for a while, eventually come back and do them again. Everybody will forget because he's a hobby goat. Hashtag hobby goat. Now, Mealy Pops, through his representative, an escrow, apparently is going to send the money back. Wise. By the way, I think he took a bigger hit. Because if you're a dealer in the space, you can't be playing that. Steve Hart is basically required. PSA needs him to grade packs. So, like, he basically carved himself out a niche. There's nobody to replace him. If we say, oh, you know what, you did a bad job, you're gone. Okay, who are you going to replace him with then? Who are you going to put your sealed boxes with? Good luck with that. He's put himself in a position where he's not too big to fail, but in hobby terms, he's almost too big to fail. Like, you can screw up a bunch more times and it's fine. Whatever. So I don't think he's going to get that much damage out of it. The fallout will be very short-lived and he'll move on with his life. Mealy Pops, though, I think hurt himself credibility-wise because it should have been like immediate refund. Insta refund. It should have been like, sorry, bro. You know, I was relying on it too. Sorry, here's your money back. Good day. It shouldn't have even been a question. And you shouldn't have been doing it through representatives.
And
You
how
just
much money did they spend out of that?
Yeah, but like the thing is, at that point, if you're a businessman, pick up the phone and just talk to the guy directly and go, I will send you the money, even if you need a day. Because it's a lot of money. It's not like, you know, you got to wire it to do whatever.
There's a
But it's-
limit on your bank account.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, if you need a day or something to get your paperwork and arrangements together, just pick up the phone immediately and call the guy and just tell him on Saturday, right after they get the results. Pick up the phone and say, all right, no problem. I'll get you your money. Give me until Monday. No problem. But
How
if
do you sell the car?
Yeah, exactly. But if you leave it open-ended, now people are looking. And by the way, you're doing YouTube videos and stuff. People are looking at you. You're in the eye. You're in the public eye. The same way that you wanted to increase your visibility. Well, now you're more visible. Now people see you and know who you are. So you can't be playing that way. You can't be doing it. So that's one thing. So I think, would take some damage to it. That Card Kahuna guy, he may ghost everybody and disappear.
Winter jacket guy.
Yeah. So maybe you should not just trust some random dude, Card Kahuna, you know. That's another thing. The Shane guy gave Logan Paul back his money, so he's cool. He's fine. You know, I don't
got
think Logan
screwed.
Paul's going to have any. Yeah, but it's like, so people will be more sympathetic to him because, again, they relied on a trusted third-party authenticator.
Yeah.
So he got him. He did the only thing he could do. He was in the room when the thing was open. He immediately said, "I'll get you back your money." You got to, at that point, just own it. Be like, you know, here's your money back. Take your money back. And that way you're not dealing with that problem.
So who does lose the money?
Right now, at the moment, most of that it's the Shane 150 guy because the majority of that money is under. Like I said, Mealy Pops I think is on the hook
he's
for 500 grand. Yeah, he's on the 500 grand, and the remainder, the bulk of like 2.2 million, is that Card Kahuna guy. It's a lot of money to run away with.
So
Oh,
I
he was
guess,
flexing his money, but you know, threats to rattle Pokemon guy. So
500K. I'd have taken it.
Well, that was Mealy.
150.
That was Mealy's cut. Card Kahuna is the one with the bulk of it, the 2 million plus.
yeah,
So it's a very big discrepancy.
he was claiming he's got 150 million. He was even bribing the guy for $500,000 to keep it quiet.
We're gonna
You
need to
guys
see those
watched
tax.
the
We're gonna
entire
need to
video?
see those tax returns. We're gonna need to see those tax returns.
Dude.
I'm
Yeah.
filing for an extension.
Yep. Shockart here says, I think this was predicted in the Simpsons episode years ago. Back when The Simpsons was good, The Simpsons predicted everything.
They did.
Josh here says, I know I can't transfer 3.5 million one day. Yeah, you're going to need to call them up and really increase your limit. Soccer cards, good evening. I think Mealy was smart seeking legal counsel. He might try to set himself apart from Jacob by doing so. But whether it's smart or not is a different conversation. I would still have, you can be in the legal office, and I would still have called the guy right away. I wouldn't have left him to tell people that you're doing it through legal counsel. I would have been like, I'll get you money in escrow. Let me figure out the arrangements. I'll get back in touch with you. Here's my number. Reach me whenever you need me.
So who thinks that they will get their money back from this shyster?
I think the card kahuna is the X factor because he's just a dude. Like up until now, he's just been some dude. I don't really know anything about him. Mind you, I'm not in Pokemon circle, so I don't know. But I have no reason to believe. Mealy Pops has a physical store. For reputational purposes, if he intends to continue doing business, he needs to make them whole. So, like, at the end of the day, he needed to do what he needed to do. But the other guy, again, if we get any updates by tomorrow, we'll add them into the information. But I haven't heard that there's been any contact with him yet. I'm sure he's probably looking at his options.
Well, he probably lost 20 grand out of that if it's proportionally, if they divided it out that way for the investment side of it. So he would lose the 20% of probably $90,000, right?
Yeah. Yeah. From the
So
original.
that still hurts.
Yeah, from the original. But the other thing, though, is that means what if you spent some of the money you got? Because
You know
between the
you
beginning.
did.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, where are you going to find that money?
Sell
Mr. $150 million man?
EMGs, Sell the jambalayas. Okay, they got to go.
Yep. So Millie Pops and the guys bought it originally on eBay for me is they should know that what they paid for it probably wasn't legit. Yep. Just searched, and there was a wrapped case of 86 feet sold by Golden by 1.8. The tape was yellowed on top and bottom, maybe to look aged. It could be. Well, so maybe this is the other thing. Like I said, BBCE in the end it'll pass for them. Mealy Pops is going to have to make good if he intends to continue doing business in the space. One way or another, he's going to have to make good. Some people will still look at him side-eyed anytime there's another deal as, a broker and in between. The Card Kahuna guy will probably vanish at some point in the thin air, no matter what happens. Even if he's able to get the money back, I don't think he's going to be hanging around.
No.
The Shane guy, like I said, right now gets to play victim because he at least gave Logan Paul back his money. So he's like, no, not right now. My job is to get my money back. So and then the secret seller in Canada right now is the mystery man. Is the mystery man this whole thing?
Western Canada.
Yeah. The question going forward, maybe that's going to be part
Big
of this.
country.
Like I said, BBCE will get off relatively unscathed. I don't think directly they'll have any issues.
No.
The question going forward is going to be, does that make some people who see this story give a little bit of a double take to some of their sealed stuff?
I don't know about that. I have to debate that, saying that I really think that it doesn't hurt him so much because we're talking about a case. What he did, okay, unfortunately it didn't turn out. We're talking about a unique case, a one-time deal, something he doesn't really has done before. So, it's almost
That's the built-in excuse that some folks have already thrown out there.
Well, it is there. It is
Yeah.
there. It's not like somebody opened a Gretzky box and then it's all crap, right? No, this is Pokemon. It's another step away from the hobby in a certain sense, So I think he'll be fine, and I don't think it really hurts his reputation. He still has a good reputation, and I'm sure a lot of people will not really even bat an eye. It was just, it's the Pokemon thing. It's just he's going to go to, there'll be talk next time. The Pokemon deal. It'll be a joke,
It's
a
that
meme.
one out of hundreds of thousands that he did, but of course that one is the one you talk the most, right? So.
But the best part is, don't you think what Bobby just said, I agree with what he said 100%. But don't you love it, though? As a hobby, we're so forgiving. We're so forgiving and understanding. We need to give people a second chance. It was a mistake. Everybody makes
I think
mistakes.
the hobby is ADD, man. Like it's like 2 seconds it's here, another second later it's like all forgotten. So
Here's my one pushback on. I don't disagree. The history tells me it's going to be. My one pushback on it is going to be, and this is maybe another one of the little takeaways that I would leave for folks, and this is unfortunate, is that the bigger issue isn't that they made a mistake. Anybody can make a mistake. And we just talked about how difficult it is to try to authenticate it, and an exact science it is. It's not a science at all. But we talked about those issues. But here's the deal. Given how difficult it is to begin with, if you have anything less than an understanding of it, the mistake was getting involved in the first place. You should have just said no. That was the real mistake. That was the irresponsible thing, to be like, oh, we can figure it out. We're BBCE. We authenticate everything. If you don't know what you're doing, you could have just said no.
Yeah.
That's the real. BBCE will not get punished for this because they're covered by their own thing, but they should never have touched it. And that is the thing that will get glossed over and forgotten. And even the people that make the excuses, they'll say, well, they don't deal with Pokemon. Then why did you even touch it?
You know, I guess there's a point where that
Money
you figure
Yeah.
money. Well, what do you get paid for that? What's it, 3,500? But I think the maximum 8% of the box percentage point.
Well, soccer cards
be at
here says
5K, which is
25,000, but we don't know. Soccer cards,
It's 5,000 max.
that's what it's supposed to be. But it's one of those things. Like
8% or up to $5,000. There's a minimum to $8. I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah. I think
So,
the only people that know
that's with
definitively
the motorcycle, but I mean,
the only people that know definitively are the ones who actually paid them. And that's kind of the thing. Like if you did something off the books, that's kind of a okay. That's a different question entirely. That would again be another set of questions.
we're not going.
Yeah. So Wax of the Future here says G.I. Joe boxes to the moon. Yes. They're selling like crazy right now. I have no doubt.
Bye.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, it's 3.5 million for a case of them. And if you put them inside a Pokemon box, even better.
If you can grade every pack of G.I. Joe and say it from the Logan Paul G.I. Joe collection, you're part of that big news.
Yep. So here we go. Anybody selling BBCE sealed is going to get 0 premium within your term over regular sealed. You'd think so. We'll see how many people actually pay attention. History says no. Unfortunately, give it a week and this will be old news. Yes, that is correct. Yep. All slab stocks. Well, like I said, we're very forgiving. Do you not understand how forgiving we are in this hobby? Everyone is great. Even if you screw up and cost a lot of money, it's great. Everybody's a goat. Hobby goat.
Yeah, OG.
BBC, you won't say no to anything and don't have any responsibility. That's right. I don't think Card Kahuna immediately pops intentionally acknowledged to scam their buyer. They were just excited for the quick flip. When you've got that many red flags, you're not just excited for the quick flip. You are seeing the dollar signs in your eyes, and you're ignoring all the stop signs that are saying stop, think about it, too good. Other people are passing it up who know more than you do. Stop. Because people were suspicious of the original auction in the first place. That's why it went that cheap. So all you got to do is ask around, why does nobody else want this? There's other people that can afford to pay more for this, even at that time.
But
Why didn't they
want
touch
to
it?
afford to lose the 90K?
Yeah, they were too
And
worried about it.
that is the thing. When I'm buying something and I really don't know much about it, I'll only go to a certain point. After that, I am not going to lose that much money. Never.
Yep. So does BBC have liability insurance? Nope. Not really. They basically gave themselves a waiver. So actually, let me quickly. I assume most of you guys have already seen it, but I'll quickly pull
Bring
it
it
up.
up again. Yeah, it's good.
I'll pull it up straight from their website. I'm not going to make it up. So let me grab a good old baseball card exchange and I'll pull it up. It's the Authenticate page.
It kind of goes back to the good old if it's too good to be true.
Oh, they knew it was too good to be true at the first deal. That's the too good to be true. Do you know how much we can make on this box, Yannick? I'm in.
Yeah.
All right.
I
so
heard
real
those
quick
Bobby
here.
before, but usually I'm the one's gonna say, "Hang on here, man."
Yep. So real quick, here is the baseball card exchange. This is their Authenticate page. So this is where they give some information about authentication and what they do. So there's a whole bunch here. They give a bunch of description and explanation on it. I'm going to bring your attention to one specific area since you were asking about liabilities. So you scroll through, you've got these things. They hit these different points. After the submission and authentication of an item by BBCE. Actually, let me scroll up a little bit more. Yeah, it's there. Here we go. Number 7. New information may arise or become available that was unavailable at the time of determination of authenticity was assigned to BBC by any item. BBC shall have no liability to customer, and BBC shall be under no obligation to change a determination of authenticity assigned by an item unless such an item is resubmitted for authentication. To the extent new information arises, it becomes available after the determination of authenticity is assigned by BBC to any item. Yep. And the other thing is that in the first place, all they really say is that Steve Hart the owner is the hobby's most authenticator. So Steve Hart is the brand when it comes to the authentication piece. And that kind of plays into this question here about Georgetown. To be sure, did Steve Hart personally authenticate? If you've got a $3.5 million box, it is your business. You better be the one authenticating. And also, he's the one in the room opening it. So it's like, it's his baby. One way or another, he owns it.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
don't
him.
think I think they have some people to look at stuff, but
Yeah. Not for the big stuff. For the big
Not
stuff,
for the-
for the big stuff, you get the boss man. The
yeah,
boss
you don't
man
get
has
the new
to-
guy to get the mantle, 52 mantle. You don't get the new guy at PSA to go, hey, you guys want to drink of that? Yeah, sure,
Yeah, absolutely.
bring on it.
Yeah, 91 G.I. Joe's boxes sold on eBay. So there you go. If you had G.I. Joe futures, you're solid. I wonder if the waiver would hold up in court. That's a question. And Paul Lesko would be a good person to ask if that is sufficient. Because it is written. It is in writing. So I'd be curious to see. It was from an auction. I thought it was found in somebody's closet in Canada. Yeah. There were a lot of stories about where it originated from. It was given to him when he was 12, and another time he found it somewhere.
Well,
So there was a lot of versions of it.
It was auction, but it was purchased outside of eBay, from what I'm understanding. It was auction at first that it did not, no one bought it. Or I would have to rewatch the whole damn thing again, but I'm pretty sure it was after it was trying to be auctioned, it was bought outside of eBay.
And that breaks eBay's policy, you know.
How dare they?
So there's trouble there.
Okay, so real quick, Wax to the Future. So I wanted to just play a very specific piece of the clip. But since he brings it up, shall we do? Because Bobby, I assume you'll enjoy this piece. I think
It's exactly that.
Let's give it a moment. Let's give it
I
a
know what
moment.
it is. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Just for funsies. Why not? All right. I already got it queued up to the spot. So let me just drop this for a second. And then,
Put us
Let's hear
up
it.
top.
yep. I'll move us over. Hold on. There we go. Second here. I'll bring it to the screen. There we go. Yep. Okay, here we go.
We all got duped.
It's the best.
No, I disagree. I could have. It's beautifully memeable content. It really is. It's like, wow. That's why I said this whole thing. Again, I reiterate. I really don't care about Logan Paul. I really don't care about Pokemon. But this, I ask the content gods, and they provide, and I thank them yet again. I believe in no other gods but the content gods, and they provide. I've never been let down. So yes, Wax to the Future. Yes. Does this count new information? Correct. Yes. So if they don't back their authentication, why would you ever trust them? Great question. The tape was good. The tape was good. It was great tape. It was like leaned in. It was beautiful tape. He could
I
wax
think the
poetic
tape
on the
was
tape.
He's a
good.
tape expert.
Honestly.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the tape was good.
Yeah, but to your point, you got to check all the tape.
Underneath.
I want all the tape, not
go
just the
underneath.
tape on top. Yeah, I want all the tape, not just the tape on top. Yeah, getting a full case if you were in a shop was pretty much impossible. First edition was rare and sold out very fast. Yeah, that's the reason why like they're having a lot of that stuff was ripped open really early on. It was like there you go. Yeah, the first fire backed out because the seller wouldn't allow buyer to travel to pick it up. Yes, that's right, Paul. Thank you. Good memory. Yep, we all
Yeah,
got
Paul's
duped.
right.
Yes, we all did. We all did. And the other guys are looking at Steve Hart going, "We were duped by you. We thought we thought your rap was good. You're the one who got
Trust the rap.
duped. We trusted the rap." But it's cardboard lines in the sticker. That's exactly right. Yep. Yeah. No, we got the $1 million bet. We did take care of it. We got him in there. This will die down the same as the PSA trim card scan on PwC's show bidding. Yes, we agree with
Sure.
that sentiment. We agree with that sentiment. Old paper tape still stuck that well is a huge red flag. Yep. Yeah, it's gold, Jerry. Gold. That's 100% right. So yeah. So I think overall, that's kind of the gist of it. You know, we had our fun. We had our memeable moments. I'll be honest, the whole point of this story and the reason I enjoyed it so much is just how much little bits of fun it was in it. But it was foreseeable. All of this was foreseeable. Before we got the big reveal. I'm glad he decided to make a big production of the reveal. That made it more fun. It really was enjoyable. Good for Logan Paul. You know, if you check out his video, again, I included the link in the description for any of those who didn't check it out. Give this man a like. He gave us entertainment. He gave us memeable moments. That's worth something. That's worth a like. So, you know, at least it's something. So any other kind of thoughts or questions that I do see one there, so I'll grab it. But any other thoughts and questions from the chat on any aspect of this? Lessons learned. Who's buying unopened cases? Who's buying unopened wax? BBCE will authenticate it for you. Who wants to buy some G.I. Joe cards? I'm just asking for a friend. I hear a guy who's got some. Just came out of a fresh Pokemon box.
Might
All right.
chase that set now.
Yep. You think there's some fishy stuff going on and why BBC graded Authenticate in the first place, or just naive negligent? They wanted to take the money. There was money. There was money to be had, and they
Take
just.
the money and run.
I don't think these like I had it posed to me. One of my buddies said, "Oh, do you think BBCE was in on it?" And I'm like, "So you want to even temporarily, briefly tarnish your reputation for the lulz?" Like, no. I think he genuinely thought he did a good job with his amazing analysis of the tape, but not good enough, I suppose. But yeah, I would say negligence is probably the right thing. You can't be naive in that business. If you're naive, that's problematic because otherwise, why do you exist? You know that people do tamper with this stuff. So the only reason you would want to consult an expert is to try to find red flags of tampering. And you missed every stop sign. You missed every red flag. You missed the flashing, hey, something's wrong. Look at it more closely. Something's wrong.
Too many
And-
people are going like this. It should have been going.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody decided to put blinders on. They decided to ignore all the problems and just say, yeah, sure. Oh, great. I can make some money. A quick flip. 2.7 million to 3.5
Some
million.
money.
Yeah. You went 800,000 in the last transaction, but then millions in the transaction in between. Like, there's a lot there. It's everybody had the blinders on when the money was involved.
Yeah.
Yep, wish it was Mike Tyson instead of Logan Paul. Yep. After seeing this, I've decided not to spend $3.5 million on taped cardboard box. It's a bold move. The market will take some time to recover.
Even with the last name Packham.
This is troubling. This could be a downturn in the hobby, Bobby. This could be the turning point that really ruins us. Cops called trying to feed Steve to his tiger. Yep. Tantamount malpractice. He should have known better. Yep. We'll be interested to see which of the so-called hobby goat content creators that are friends with Steve immediately react and downplay it, no doubt. What? Are you suggesting there are individual hobby goats, no less, that would downplay it?
There's a lot of goats out there.
We got a lot of them. We got a lot of them.
Legends, goats, you name it.
Legends.
Yeah. The
In this
important
hobby for 6 months, you're a legend.
look. The important thing is that I feel we haven't been positive enough in the hobby. Positive enough, and like in this live stream, clearly hasn't been positive enough. I'm positive you have to be an idiot to spend 3.5 million on a cardboard box. I'm positive you have to be an even bigger idiot to authenticate it when you don't know crap about cardboard boxes except tape.
And
I'm positive of these things. Is that enough positivity? Would anyone else like to contribute some positivity?
yeah, I'm positive I would never get involved in that. You can't.
No,
You know.
no. You're putting your reputation at risk for what? Like even for the money involved in it, and you still can't say definitively. Like, come on, get out of here. So anyway, real quick, we'll read a couple more comments here, and then we'll wind her down. And then thank you those of you who decided to join in. We do appreciate the questions and comments. Always appreciate it. And if any of you haven't, we would appreciate the like button. It is free. We're not charging yet. How many of those have gotten a box from Amazon with paper tape? Where you look at it wrong, it comes off the box. Expect that to stick for 20 years. Yep. The herd of goats. Aaron Davis, good evening. To ask or not disclose about the sketchy origin is definitely negligence if there's no funny business in the original authentication. Yep, that's fair. I agree. Time to watch the Flyers lose to Bruins. Best of luck to you. Positive the case was fake. Yep. And the hobby is so much smarter now. Yes, I've heard this rumors of the hobby getting smarter. They're so much smarter, you guys. I'm positive they're smarter.
Well, this box was already opened, I think last Friday. Maybe even Thursday.
Sorry, what are you talking about when they opened the box?
Yeah.
It was on the Saturday. So that was in Steve Hart's statement when they opened
That
it.
was Thursday, I think. Well, with everything I saw on the internet, yeah, it was open Thursday and it was fake. Or
Are
maybe
you saying that
was
Steve
Thursday.
didn't know what day of the week it was?
No, I'm saying
He
that's
put
all-
Saturday. He said Saturday in his statement.
My friend called me, said, "Oh yeah, they opened that. It's fake." I went, "It's Thursday. It's supposed to be open on all the pop." I said, "Dude, you got to read."
Oh, so we're back to Steve Hart is in on it. Tell him it was Saturday.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
Interesting.
No, it's just that people read the memes because everybody put a post on because they want the hits, right? And
Yep.
it was just like box Pokemon 3.5 million fake. And it's like, it will be when they finally open the box this weekend. It's like, that's last week, right? So
There you go. There you go.
everybody's playing the games.
Yep.
So everyone got lots of hits on it. That's good.
No, hey, listen, for the content purposes of it, it's good. We don't have any
Great.
complaints. So Josh here says, absolutely, Josh, no problem. I'm not going to try to beat last year's total, but we probably will. If I'm being completely honest. Yeah, if the content gods are going to do me like this so early, like it's been only, we're not even 2 weeks into the new year, and like they just, hey Carlos, you want this? Sure. Do you want some this? Yeah, great. What else do you have? Oh, wait until the summer. Oh man.
January 1st, bang.
Yep, pretty much. Yep, you're just jealous you can't afford it. Is your favorite argument with the case of people saying it's fake? Yep, absolutely. There's always going to be the excuse makers. So we'll end on this. There's always going to be the excuse makers. There's going to be the hobby goats who will downplay it because, of course, no negativity in the hobby is acceptable. Look, I think the hobby is stronger than a negative story. I think the hobby is stronger than somebody scamming somebody because that's always been in existence. As soon as money was involved, somebody is cheated. This is how this works. It's always been that way. We got to have some fun with it. I had a ton of fun. This was a lot. This was great.
Best week of my year.
Yeah, like it was wonderful. It was the memes are going to carry us for days. It's going to be glorious. Let's say take some
months.
Fun. It's like take some fun out of this. Like why don't we just enjoy it for what? Yeah, let's just enjoy it for what it is. Let's have our fun with it and enjoy what we do collect. Let's enjoy our hobby, whatever that goes into. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And just have some fun with this stuff. It's not that serious. It's just cards. It's just a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. Do that. And that'll be kind of the last words I'll leave you on. I'll read these comments and then we'll wind her off. Great subject. Absolutely RD Cards. Thank you for hanging out and joining. This made my day. I'll be smiling nonstop. Glad you could enjoy As a Card Dad. Thank you very much, Georgetown Vintage. Appreciate it. Yes, we appreciate your comments and contributions as well. Thank you to everybody. Folks, on your way out, hit the like button, please. I see enough of you. Come on. Hook us out. Like Yannick came out here. Yannick was a busy man. He was working. I put Bobby out of serious meetings. The hobby had to stop so that Bobby could join us and comment on this important issue. We'll talk about this more.
Stop, Carlos.
It never does. So we will talk about this some more on Friday. If anything new comes up, we'll add it in there for sure. We'll get that in there. But this was our early discussion tonight and our first thoughts. Yep, absolutely. Sounds good. All right, wonderful. Don't have case of BBC authenticated wax. There you go. Thank you, Aaron Davis. That's the last. Aaron Davis. That's the last word. Yeah, I had to leave the Burrell building. This is true. All right, folks. Appreciate you as always. We'll catch you in the next one.